Hi, this is Theo from PocketBlocks.com. Today I'm going to show you these Pentel Color Brush Pens. Someone asked me about them a few days ago, so today I'm going to show you how I use these brush pens. These are made by Pentel, made in Japan. They are also the same manufacturer for that pocket brush pen. This is the pocket brush pen. And this is the bigger color brush pen. And these brush pens, they actually come in different colors. I think I saw one set that has 18 colors, but the one that I have here with me are actually just black, gray, and sepia tone. Because I don't want to get so many colors, I just want to get the gray tones just to practice my values. So let me show you the bristles and how they look like. Let me zoom in closer. The one at the bottom is the color brush pen, and the one at the top is the pocket brush pen. You can see that the nylon hair bristles are much bigger compared to the pocket brush pen at the top. And because of that, you can get a much thicker stroke with the color brush pen. The other difference is the ink refill. With the pocket brush pen, you get a smaller ink cartridge like this. This is disposable, so after you finish using it, you can just throw it away and put a new one in. For the color brush pen, it's the same thing, but the refill is a bit bigger. So you just have to actually twist this to remove this bottom part here. This whole thing is actually the ink cartridge refill, and there's this tiny hole here where the ink actually comes out from. So you have to screw it back tightly. Make sure that you do it tightly so that the ink doesn't come out from this gap here, and the ink will flow out from the top here. And as you squeeze, you can see the ink move in this area here. By the way, sometimes these brush pens, they are sold with Japanese labels like this one. This is the Japanese label and this is the English label. So the difference is in the text. Other than that, they are actually the same. The brush pens are very convenient because you can just uncap them, squeeze a bit of ink out and start using. Ink flow is pretty good. If it runs out of ink, you can just press again to get the ink out. And for this gray tone, I'm using this on a cartridge paper that has medium grain, and it seems that somehow it's able to give me some texture look. But I think that's mostly because of the paper. The sharp bristles are very good for coloring tight areas, small corners. And the application, as you can see, is quite even. The ink is dye-based, so this is not waterproof, and this is definitely not light fast as well. So if you want to use watercolor over this, this is going to fade. Later I'm going to demonstrate to you. So this is a gray tone. Sometimes I can use this on the public train while I'm drawing, just to quickly shade in some shadow areas or get in some black areas, and that is why this is very convenient. You can do those coloring on the train, or if not, you will have to use markers or maybe color pencils. The black is very intense as well, and this black is also not waterproof. You can use the sharp point for the small areas, and you can use the side of the brush to give you that texture look if you want to. So I'm just going to use that for this lady here, just to get the texture look. It takes a while to dry because this is water-based, but after it's dry, you can go in and add in an additional layer. If it's wet, you can have some wet on wet techniques. For me, I just want to add in some to make it a bit darker, so I go in to add in that additional layer. It's running out of ink, so I press it. So this is how this is going to look like with this brush pen, just the gray and the black. Let me show you the strokes that the brush pen can produce. You can get very thin lines, and you can get very dry lines as well. So this is quite dry because there's not enough ink. Let me show you clearer. So if you want to get more ink, you just have to press and make sure that the ink starts flowing into the area. You will see the ink coming down this area here, and you can then get a much wetter stroke. So always be pressing. If you want to get a solid stroke, then you just have to go much slower. If you want to get the dry brush effect, then just draw very fast. And if you want to get thick and thin, well, just vary the pressure, because this is after all a brush. And you can get very thick strokes. I know that there are artists who actually buy this pen to do calligraphy work, because you can get thin and thick lines very easily, and also they come in many colors, so you can get very colorful calligraphy. I'm not very good at calligraphy, so I shall not embarrass myself. Let me show you whether or not this is waterproof. Oh, before I do that, I want to show you how you can use the brush pens to get expressive lines. Same thing, press down hard. I'm just going to draw a portrait of someone, and this is really good because you can get a really expressive line with this pen. Very nice. And if you want to go in and shade, you can do so very quickly, because the hair is so, the bristles are so big and thick. Now I'm going to mix this sepia tone with black, just to get the darker area. So you can see that this area here is black. They blend quite well. Okay, now I'm going to show you whether or not they are waterproof, and to do that I will apply water onto these strokes here. They are already dry, so I'm just going to apply water, and you can see that once I apply water, the ink starts coming out. So it reactivates the dye-based ink, and you can get this sort of wash here, and you can use that to your advantage as well. For example, in this area here, maybe I want to put some shadow areas. I can do that with my water brush. I think it works better when the ink is still wet, so you can draw out the ink much easier. Take a look at the black ink here. This is very nice, and you can get some sort of a wash, a nice gradual or nice flat wash to it, depending on how much water you want to use. And this is how it looks like with the brush pen and the water brush. So to recap, these are very versatile and convenient to use. You can use them on their own, or you can use them with a water brush to dilute the ink to create some sort of wash, and they actually look quite nice. The downside for me would be the price. I feel that they are a bit pricey. However, you can get ink refills for them, but the ink refill is also a bit pricey. So you might want to experiment with refilling with your own ink. And if you want to do that, I recommend you use fountain pen inks, because fountain pen inks usually they are dye-based, water-based, so they are not pigment-based basically. And if you are using pigment ink, if the pigment dries, it's going to clog your brush pen, so I recommend you use dye-based ink. And after I finish using this, I'm going to try refilling with fountain pen ink, and I'm going to create a video just on refilling this pen. But overall, I really enjoy using it because these are very convenient. If I draw on the train, I can just pull this out from my bag and just start coloring it. They also come in different other colors also. If I compare this to markers, I would say this is more versatile because markers you can only get like the thickness of the marker stroke is pretty predictable, but for this you can get much more expressive strokes. Anyway, that's all for my review today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so for more art product reviews, sketching tips and techniques. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.